So what do I wish I'd known in medical school, and what advice would I give medical students to make their lives easier? Okay, number one, try to figure out who the heck you are. Okay, are you the type of person who, loves to work as part of a group, who likes to go to pep rallies in high school and like go team, and you would really kind of like to further the goals of an organization as part of a bigger picture? There's certain medical options that are open to you. If you're the type of person who was sitting in the corner rocking back and forth, making weird drawings and playing with Dungeons and Dragons dice because you're afraid that the jocks were going to kick your butt at the pep rallies, I'm not saying that was anybody I know myself, but then you may not be fit for that kind of thing. And so much of medicine these days is practiced as part of a big group, and it's almost an assembly line kind of thing, and you do your part. If that's not really for you, you really have to decide who you are and what you need, and then you can start pursuing what you want, because there is a niche in medicine for everybody, and it doesn't have to be in clinical medicine, of course. But it's there, so you got to know yourself first. So figure that out. I know it's easy to say, but you got to do that. The second thing is don't listen to anybody else, because all your classmates are crazy. Okay, that's just a fact. And then third, don't let anyone pressure you into doing stuff you're not interested in. I remember there was a lot of pressure to do homeless clinic when we were at UCSF. All the students did homeless clinic. I think I was one of 3 people who didn't do homeless clinic. I just didn't have a desire to do homeless clinic. Don't do stuff you don't want to do, okay? Stay true to who you are and what you want to do. I happen to be a jerk, so I didn't want to see homeless patients. Is that so wrong? And then have a lot of fun, because once you have kids and you get a job, it's over. I'm just kidding. But remember, the other thing is that, when you're going through medical school, you're worried, okay, how much money am I going to make? What am I going to do? Money is not the issue. It's really, are you doing something that makes you feel like you're part of a larger purpose? Are you doing your passion? And then the money stuff will always come. You don't have to worry about that. So that's another thing. Don't pick a specialty based on pay. Pick it on, is it your passion? Is it what you want to do? And if none of the specialties are, then maybe you should go the entrepreneurial route and do something else with your degree. One other piece of advice I would give you that could make your career better after school: make sure to do a residency. I really firmly believe that. I think so many doors would have closed to me if I hadn't done my residency, and I found that I was much more marketable later, having done all that, being a legitimate doctor. And I know there's gonna be a lot of MDs out there who've never gone to residency. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not a doctor, okay? I'm just saying that because having gone through it and done clinical medicine, I am a doctor. You have a doctorate in medicine, but you're not really a doctor. So if it's something that's fitting your goals, I really would say do a residency, even if you plan never to practice clinical medicine. And residency's gotten so cush these days with work hour rules, you have nothing to lose. Another piece of advice that I would give medical students is keep your friends that are outside of medicine and keep them close to you, because they keep you from going crazy. Plus, you want those guys around because they love to hear stories about stuff you pull out of people's rectums. Like I would always tell the story about, we had an x-ray and it was just this blur and over this guy's rectosigmoid. And we tried to figure out what it was, and when he pulled it out, it was actually a dildo wrapped in foil that was still vibrating, and that was what was causing the blur. I mean, man, one time at a wedding, actually, all non-medical people, actually all entrepreneurs, I told this story at the big circular table, probably 15 people at the reception, about this difficult rectal exam or something. I forget the exact details, but I heard this, and I look over, some dude hit the deck. I actually caused a non-medical guy to vasovagal at a wedding. Everybody comes running over. I'm just sitting there like nothing. I'm like, oh, I'm not a doctor. There's a lot. Am I the only doctor here? It was unbelievable. So keep the non-medical angle close. It's key, and it keeps you sane, and it also opens opportunities that are outside of the box of medicine. Very important advice.